everybody, Jeff here, Aromatics, working on my cigar blend journal once again. So I was watching my last video playing with Paraguay where I'm blending a cigar, and I thought to myself, you know what, this is getting a little too complicated for now. Maybe I should back this truck up and get back to the basics. So one of the first videos I did was I rolled some tobaccos from each of the 4 major regions of Nicaragua, the Ligero tobaccos, and I gave my impression on the tastes of those, and I found it very helpful to myself, and some other people that watched the videos thought it was very interesting and informative as well. There just is not a lot of information on what the tobaccos taste like individually. I can't believe it, actually. Like, there's so many cigars out there and everyone's interested in so many aspects, but nobody actually explains what they're tasting when it comes to the individual components that these cigars are made up of. Even though they vary from field to field, it would still be interesting to get some feedback on it. And I've seen blenders, and it seems like when they're asked the question on what these regions taste like, they really don't have a good answer. So maybe we'll get some answers here, even though it's probably very broad because it depends on how the tobacco is aged, what fields, different things like that. But for at least the tobaccos that I have in my possession, it gives me a good idea of what I'm working with and how to blend, put a blend together when I know what each individual component tastes like on its own. Gives me a rough idea. So my first video, like I said, was Nicaraguan tobaccos in Ligero form. So now let's go to the Dominican side and do the Ligeros that I use the most as well. And then we'll go through some different regions like, say, Brazil, and maybe we can do some wrappers. And then there's even some, we can go through the Secos and Vizos, and then there's all sorts of stuff we can go. But the Ligeros are the most important in my blending, so that's where I want to start. So these are categorized in two ways I find when it comes to the Dominican Ligeros. You have the bright tobaccos and you have the darker tobaccos. So in bright, I mean they're usually spicier, sweeter, stronger, just a brighter taste. Cedars, like a cedar taste or a peppery taste. And then you have the tobaccos that are more subdued, earthy, more coffee flavors. So I have 2 of each. So I find that the 4 Ligeros I use the most are Piloto Cubano, which is a darker kind of coffee flavor from what I remember, Olor, and then the brighter ones would be the Criollo and Criollo. So I'm gonna light these ones up, smoke them each individually. Hopefully I can get it to all fit in one video. If not, I'll split it up. So let's start off with, say, one that I'm the most curious with that I've forgotten what it tastes like, and that is Criollo Ligero from the Dominican. And this one is the only one out of all these, I think, that is grown in the Chibao Valley. I'll double check. So it's been, that's a really fertile valley in the Dominican, and this one's been aged or fermented a full 12 months. So it's a really high quality Criollo tobacco. So let's get this lit up. Let's see what we're tasting. Maybe the torch will be a little bit quicker. Now, Dominican Ligeros are definitely lighter than Nicaraguan, but not always. They can still be quite strong and quite potent. I'm enjoying this one already, but let me smoke it a little bit and I'll get back to you and let you know what I'm thinking of the Dominican Criollo Ligero. Stick around. Okay, this is a slow burner. I've been smoking this for a good, I don't know, 8 minutes or so. And I could smoke this on its own. It's a fantastic tobacco. I'm so surprised of the Dominican flavors because, as I've said before, I've never really had a lot of luck with the Dominican cigars that I smoked in the past. But of course, I never smoked any real high quality ones. And I do have some now, and some reviews are coming up. Got an Opus X. I got some other ones on the go. So I'm really curious to taste those. But the flavors I get from the Dominican Criollo are the best way. The overall flavor, I would say, is like a spicy chili. It's got like a red pepper taste to it. Sometimes I get like a say you get like a cherry flavor, but spicy and hot. And also one thing I remember, I have smoked puros before of these tobaccos. is that this Criollo seems to have a taste that just floods your mouth. Like, have you ever had a jalapeno pepper and you bite in it and you get this, almost like you stuck your tongue on a battery, where your whole mouth gets this like acidic kind of feeling to it? It's got that. At first, it was kind of a turn-off in my blends. I didn't know if I liked it, but once you get used to it, you look for it and you miss it if it's not there. So it's kind of a dirtier taste. Like it really overtakes your mouth and gives it this kind of spicy, lingering, long finish taste. There is also the Criollo does have, like in the lower primings, has like nutmegs and cooking spices, and you can taste that in here still, but they're just overtaken. It's like you had a really good chili with a lot of good, cooking spices, but then you added the hot sauce and the red pepper, and the spice just overtakes that. That's what you get with this Ligero. It's very yummy. I could smoke a whole Puro on its own, no problem. So okay, we'll put that one down. And then we'll go to a darker tobacco. So let's go the opposite route here, and let's go to the Olor. And so this one would be more of the coffee flavors from what I remember. So let's get this one lit up. Actually, let me, so this video doesn't go long, I'll light it up off camera and give you my tastes when I come back. Stick around. All right, I'm back. So totally different tobacco. Wow, it's pretty amazing. Not only different in taste, but also different in burn characteristics. Whereas that Criollo was very slow burning and not a lot of smoke, this Olor is burning much quicker and producing a lot more smoke. Taste-wise, I'm getting a whole different profile. It's really smooth, really creamy. There is no pepper, no spice. The retrohale is even fairly smooth. Yep, there's just there's still a fair amount of body in it. It's picking up as I smoke down. But as far as the flavors, yeah, I'm getting just a coffee and cream. That's the main flavors I get, as well as some wood. Just different kinds of wood flavors that just come in and out. Mostly, I would say maybe an oaky, slightly leathery taste, but pretty interesting. Still, I can feel that nicotine, although not quite as much as the Criollo. There is still a decent amount of nicotine on this Ligero. So for those of you who don't know, the Ligero is the top leaves of the plant, up towards the top, and that's where the leaves get the most sun, and therefore they're the strongest of the leaves. Then the next one's the Viso, and then there's Seco, and we can go into that later on in another video. But very interesting, and once again, I could smoke this on its own. It's very tasty, very good. Just maybe a little bit one-dimensional. That's the only problem, is it might get a little bit boring, but it's still a very good tasting tobacco in its own right. And probably why Olor is used as a binder quite often is it must be because it's a very good burning tobacco. So I will keep a mental note of that when I need to add a little bit extra, if something's not burning quite well and I want to add, keep those coffee flavors and add a good burn to my cigars. So this video is going on a little bit long, so maybe I'll do it in 2 parts and upload them back to back. So I'm gonna leave this video at that, and we'll see you on the part 2 coming up soon. So hope you guys found this interesting, and I'll take a break. Nicotine's getting a little bit to me here, so I'll take a break and I'll let my palate rest, and I'll come back later and record the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on my next one. Till then, Aromatics, signing out.